Hello, everybody. So we are going to begin meiosis 3.3 for the HL students. That's also going to include 10.1. And here are our assessment statements. And I'm gonna divide this into like 4 different groups. So there's like this beginning part where we just introduce meiosis, and then there's this second part that talks about the details, like the different phases, like prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and then all of that again. And then it also wants you to understand how my mouse is going crazy. There we go. It also wants to understand how meiosis allows for such genetic variety, such genetic variation. And there's 2 things that happen there that allow for this. And basically, there are no 2 individuals, with the exception of identical twins, who have ever had the same nuclei, the same base sequences in their DNA. And the last one here is like, what happens when things go wrong? So we're going to talk about this thing called non-disjunction and how that leads to Down syndrome. Okie dokie. Let's get with it. So the first assessment statement's just a state, so it just wants you to basically remember, and it says that meiosis is a reduction division, so that part's important, and of a diploid nucleus to form 2 haploid nuclei. So I know it's like we're talking nuclei, we're talking cells. I know that might be a little bit strange, but basically it's only the nuclei that get changed. So what does that mean? So let's look at the reduction part first. Actually, we'll probably look at it all together. So these first 2 cells, whether you're looking at male or female gametes, they're called germline cells. So that's saying basically that they will become mature sperm in males or mature eggs, actually an egg eventually. There's something happens here, but we'll talk about that later, in females. So the reduction division basically means that we're going to reduce the number of chromosomes. So if you look at this, let's look at the sperm side. If you look at this, there's 1 blue one, 1 red one, 1 blue one, 1 red one. So there are 4 chromosomes, or 2 pairs, which we note as 2N. So that's our diploid nucleus, right? It's 2N. And then there's like this interphase part we'll talk about where we make some more DNA. And then we reduce the numbers, and at the end, if you look down here, 1, 2 chromosomes, right? And when we get to that part, we no longer say 2N, we call it N. So that's the reduction part. We gone from 4 chromosomes to 2, and the result is 1, 2, 3, 4 gametes, starting from an original 1 germline cell. And then in females, it's the same. We have a mature ovum or a mature egg. I don't know what's going on with my pen right now. But we end up losing these 3. They're called polar bodies, and only one egg or ovum is mature. And then the last assessment statement I want to talk about was how meiosis allows for the sexual reproductive life cycle, if it lets me. So assessment statement 3.32 says, explain how having the number of chromosomes, so going from 2N to N, allows for sexual life cycles. So I think we've talked about this briefly. We may even have seen this slide. But basically what it's saying is we're here fish here, right? They are diploid, just like we are. So they have pairs of chromosomes. But during meiosis, eventually you're going to have half that number. So this sperm and this egg is N. They will come together. Those two gametes, they will come together, fuse together, and produce this zygote that has 2N again. So that's what that means.